Welcome to the Lights Film School video tutorial on framing heights. In this video we'll discuss the importance of properly cropping your subject within a frame. Three common mistakes filmmakers often make when framing a subject are: 1. They leave too much room above the subject's head, which creates dead space. 2. They fail to leave enough room above the subject's head, clipping the top of their head with the top wall of the frame. While this may be advisable for some close-up shots, this is not advisable for medium or full shots. 3. They cut off or amputate their subject at the joints of their limbs. Let's start by looking at a full shot. Notice how your entire subject fits nicely within the frame. A full shot is great for providing context as well as orientating your audience geographically within your world. The full shot allows more than one character to be in the frame at the same time, and it's wide enough to allow your characters to use body language to express themselves. Notice how a bit of room is left both below our subject's feet and above his head. Next, we'll look at the medium full shot. This shot is similar to the full shot, but instead of cropping below the feet, we're making our first cut just above the subject's knees. Notice there is still room above the subject's head at the top of the frame. Next, we'll look at the cowboy shot. Enough space is left below the waist of the subject, so if they drop their hands, their wrists would not be cut off with the bottom wall of the shot. This is, of course, helpful for cowboys who need quick access to their guns and their holsters. In non-Western films, this shot is equally important for subjects who simply wish to put their arms down to their sides. Next, we'll look at the medium close shot. The medium close shot is a great shot when you want to include even less environment and gain more insight into the emotional state of your character. Small emotional nuances may start to register with this image size. That being said, this shot is still wide enough to fit multiple elements within the frame. This shot choice allows you to multitask the character's emotional state with their body language, while at the same time giving you the opportunity to include other characters, props, or surroundings. Next, we have a close shot. This is really one of the first shots when we've made the commitment to focus primarily on the emotional world of our character. Notice how in this shot, we're slightly clipping the top of his head with the top wall of the composition. Let us take a moment to fix that by ensuring that the top wall rides just a sliver above our subject's head. Much better. The actor's face is the main tool used to convey information when you're in this close. As we continue to move closer to our actor, his body can still communicate expressiveness, but it's the actor's face, and specifically his eyes, which start to become the centerpiece for these shots. Punching in even closer, we have the wide close-up. Close-up shots are used to gain access into the inner world of your characters. The top part of the frame usually rides just above the top of your character's head, while the bottom of the frame includes just a slither of the arm as it starts falling off from the shoulder. Let's give our character a little bit of lead room, which will give him some breathing room and help ensure that our frame has a more dramatic sense of balance. There we go. Now let's talk about the full close-up. This shot can be tricky, since the framing can quickly become awkward if we lose the subject's eyes or chin. As a general rule of thumb, you want to keep the subject's eyes in the top 2/3 of the frame, and you don't want to clip the subject's chin with the bottom frame of the composition. In this shot, we've included a little bit of the subject's shoulders, and now we're allowed to cut the top of his head with the top wall of the composition. a medium close-up. A medium close-up will punch in a little closer. Notice we start to lose more of the top of the subject's head. His chin is also getting dangerously close to the bottom wall of the frame. The benefit to this shot is that it allows you to dig even deeper under the character's skin to see what is beneath the words they're saying. It should also be mentioned that budget-minded independent filmmakers often like tighter shots like this because they're cheaper and quicker to light. Now let's move into an extreme close-up. An extreme close-up goes a step further, and we allow the chin to dip below the bottom wall of the composition. In this shot, we frame the bottom wall just below the subject's lips. This is as close as we can get into the inner world of a character before moving into macro close-ups. Macro close-ups. Macro close-ups allow us to feature a particular part of the body. For example, a wristwatch, as we can see in this case. This shot is common when a filmmaker is trying to punctuate a narrative point. For instance, a character walking along the side of a desolate highway at night by themselves might hear something moving in the bushes to the side of the road. The filmmaker, in this case, may decide to shoot a macro close-up of the character's ear to help punctuate the sound. There are no absolute rules for framing heights. Many filmmakers will simplify framing height terminology by using only 3 loose terms: full shot, medium shot and close-up. The definition of some of these framing heights vary from set to set, so make sure you talk to your crew members beforehand to make sure you're all on the same page.